Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of numismatics as we explore the value, rarity, and hidden history behind the 1941 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. You may be surprised to find out that this old copper coin, sitting quietly in a jar or drawer, could actually be worth much more than just a penny. So sit back, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's uncover why the 1941 Lincoln penny is worth taking a second look at. First, let's begin with the basic details. The 1941 Lincoln cent was struck during World War II, a time when America was just beginning to ramp up its involvement in the global conflict. With millions of men and women stepping into military service and war production dominating the economy, coinage still continued, and the Lincoln cent remained a symbol of American endurance and resilience. The obverse side of the coin features the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design was first introduced in 1909 and is still used today, making it the longest-running coin design in United States history. On the reverse, we see the classic Wheat Ears design with the words 1 cent and United States of America boldly displayed. The reverse design is what earns this coin the nickname Wheat Penny. Now let's get into the mint marks and mintage figures, because that's where things start to get interesting. In 1941, Lincoln cents were struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, over 887 million coins minted; Denver Mint, marked with a small d, over 128 million coins minted; San Francisco Mint, marked with an S, just over 92 million coins minted. With such large numbers minted, it's easy to assume these coins are very common, and in many ways, they are. But as with all coins, the real value lies in the condition, the rarity of certain varieties, and the errors that occasionally occurred during production. Let's talk about value in the current market. A typical 1941 Lincoln cent in circulated condition, that means it's been used in everyday transactions, is usually worth between 5 and 50 cents depending on how much wear it has. However, when you find coins in higher grades, especially those that are uncirculated or mint state, values begin to rise significantly. For example, a 1941 Lincoln penny graded MS-60 can be worth around $3 to $6. A 1941 D penny in MS-65 red condition can go for $25 to $50. A 1941 S penny in high mint state red can reach $40 to $60 or more depending on the market demand, but that's just the start. The real gems are the errors and varieties. Collectors are always on the hunt for unique and rare mistakes, and the 1941 penny has a few well-known ones that can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Some examples include double die obverse. If the date or lettering on your coin looks doubled, you may have a double die error. These can bring in $50 to several $100s, depending on the strength of the doubling and the coin's condition. Off-center strikes. If the coin is not centered properly and part of the design is missing, it could be worth $20 to over $100. Clipped planchets. This occurs when a part of the coin is missing due to an error during the cutting process. These are collectible and can sell for $10 to $50 or more. So how do you know if your 1941 penny is valuable? Here's what to look for. Check the mint mark. Coins from San Francisco and Denver in higher grades are more sought after. Examine the coin's color. Bright red uncirculated coins command premium prices. Inspect for errors. Look closely at the date, lettering, and rim for doubling, misalignment, or unusual shapes. Check the grade. The better the condition, the higher the value. Coins with no scratches, dents, or wear on Lincoln's face and the wheat stalks are considered better quality. And remember, even if you don't find a rare variety, having a high-grade coin from 1941 is still a great addition to any collection. If you want to sell your coin, make sure to get it evaluated by a reputable coin dealer or numismatic professional. Consider grading it through services like PCGS or NGC for maximum value. Check current listings and completed sales on auction sites like eBay to get a sense of what similar coins are going for in today's market. In conclusion, the 1941 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny might seem like a common piece of pocket change, but its value can rise significantly with the right mint mark, condition, and a bit of luck when it comes to rare errors. Whether you're a beginner collector or a seasoned pro, never underestimate the power of a simple penny to surprise you. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with your fellow collectors, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth videos on rare and valuable coins. Leave a comment below and let us know if you've ever found a 1941 wheat penny or another rare cent hiding in your change. Where we bring you the hidden treasures of pocket change and reveal the incredible value of rare and collectible coins. If you've got an old penny lying around from the early 1940s, you might just be sitting on a tiny piece of history worth far more than 1 cent. In today's video, we're going to dive deep into the fascinating world of the 1942 Lincoln 1-cent penny. We'll explore its rich history, what makes it valuable, and just how much it's worth in today's coin market. Let's begin by understanding the background of this historic coin. The 1942 Lincoln cent features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front side, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design was first introduced in 1909 to honor Lincoln's 100th birthday, and it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. On the reverse of the coin, you'll find the classic wheat ears design, which gives these pennies the nickname wheat cents. The year 1942 was a time of great change in the United States. America had just entered World War II, and much of the nation's resources were being redirected to support the war effort. This context is important because wartime coinage often faced material shortages, experimental designs, and limited production runs, all of which can impact a coin's rarity and value. Now let's talk mintage. In 1942, the U.S. Mint struck Lincoln cents at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint struck the largest number, producing over 657 million coins. The Denver Mint struck around 206 million. And the San Francisco Mint added another 85 million to the total. That means nearly a billion 1942 pennies were made, but don't be fooled by the high mintage. Certain varieties, errors, and conditions can turn these common pennies into valuable collector's items. So what makes a 1942 Lincoln penny valuable? First, condition is key. Coins in pristine condition, known as mint state or uncirculated, can fetch a premium price. If your 1942 penny has little to no wear, sharp details, and strong luster, it could be worth significantly more than face value. Even lightly circulated coins in good shape may sell for several dollars. Second, mint marks matter. If you look below the date on the obverse side of the coin, you might see a small letter, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. No letter means it was minted in Philadelphia. While all 3 types are collectible, coins with the S mint mark in high grade tend to be more desirable to collectors due to the lower mintage. Third, and most exciting, are the error coins. Some 1942 Lincoln pennies were struck with noticeable mistakes, and these are the ones that can bring in the big money. Some examples include double die obverse, where elements of the design, like the date or "In God We Trust," appear doubled. Off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned due to a misfeed in the minting press; clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin is missing due to a blank cutting error or wrong planchet errors; extremely rare cases where the penny was struck on a foreign coin planchet or a different denomination. Some of these error coins can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on their severity and condition. Collectors go crazy for these rare varieties because they represent accidents that escape the strict quality control of the U.S. Mint. Let's look at some real examples from the current market. A standard circulated 1942 Lincoln penny from Philadelphia might be worth around 10 to 30 cents depending on condition. If it's in near mint state, it could bring in $3 to $5. However, if you've got an uncirculated 1942 penny with an S mint mark, you could be looking at a coin worth $10 to $25 or more. Coins graded MS-65 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can go for $50 to $100 or even more, especially if the luster is strong and the coin is well struck. Now, here's where things get exciting. A 1942 penny with a double die error in mint state condition has sold for over $1,000 at auction. A dramatic off-center error or a coin struck on a foreign planchet has reached price tags of $2,000 or higher. These rare variations are incredibly hard to find but prove that not all pennies are created equal. So how can you tell if your penny is valuable? Step 1 is to grab a magnifying glass and examine your coin closely. Check the date, look for any mint mark, and inspect for doubling, die cracks, or unusual shapes. Compare it to online reference images from trusted coin websites and databases. If it looks unusual or flawless, consider sending it to a professional grading service for authentication and grading. Finally, let's talk about the current market. In 2025, the demand for vintage U.S. coins is stronger than ever, driven by collectors, investors, and hobbyists alike. Online platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, and Great Collection show active bidding and high sale prices for top-grade and rare 1942 Lincoln cents. Even a standard penny in uncirculated condition can be a nice addition to your collection, while a rare error or high-grade specimen might just turn into a small fortune. In conclusion, the 1942 Lincoln 1-cent penny is a symbol of American resilience during a historic time. While most are still only worth face value, those in exceptional condition or with rare errors can be worth a surprising amount. So before you toss your old pennies into a coin jar, take a closer look. One of them might be worth much more than you ever imagined. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into rare coins, valuable currency, and historical treasures that could be hiding in your very own pocket change. Let us know in the comments if you've ever come across a rare penny, and until next time, keep hunting and happy collecting, where we uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change. Today, we're diving deep into the history, value, and rarity of the 1951 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance but can actually be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. So grab your old coin jars, check your drawers, and pay close attention. You might be sitting on a coin that could be worth hundreds, or even thousands of dollars. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about the history of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature the image of a real person, and not just any person, but one of America's most iconic and respected presidents. The 1951 Lincoln penny continued the tradition of the classic wheat reverse, which shows two stalks of wheat on the back and the words 1 cent and United States of America in between. This wheat cent design was used from 1909 to 1958, and collectors love it for its simple, historic look. And now, let's focus on the 1951 issue specifically. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny was struck at 3 different U.S. mint locations: of Philadelphia, no mint mark Denver, with a D mint mark San Francisco, with an S mint mark. Each of these versions has a different level of rarity and potential value. Let's break them down one by one. First up, the 1951 no mint mark penny, struck in Philadelphia. Over 284 million of these were made, making it the most common of the 3. In circulated condition, these coins are usually worth between 5 to 20 cents. However, in uncirculated, mint state condition, the value jumps significantly. A high-grade example, like one graded MS-65 red, can sell for $20 to $30, and if it's flawless with deep red luster, collectors might pay up to $100 or more. Next, the 1951 D penny, minted in Denver. This version had the highest mintage, with over 625 million coins struck. Like the Philly version, common circulated examples are worth just a few cents, but the real value lies in pristine condition. A mint state 1951 D penny with rich red color and sharp details can fetch $15 to $60, and rare, near-perfect pieces have been known to reach prices around $150 or higher at auction. And then we have the 1951 S penny, minted in San Francisco. With around 136 million produced, it's the lowest mintage of the 3 for that year, which makes it more desirable to collectors. While lower-grade coins might only fetch a dime or so, uncirculated examples in high mint state, especially with strong red color, can be worth $30 to $100. The highest quality coins graded MS-67 red have sold for over $400, and even more in some rare cases. But what really makes a 1951 penny worth a lot of money? Here are a few key things to look out for. Condition. This is the biggest factor in any coin's value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. The closer to 70, the more valuable the coin. Uncirculated and mint state coins are always more sought after. Color. Lincoln wheat cents can come in brown, red-brown, or red. Red is the most desirable, especially if it has full original luster. Errors and varieties. This is where things get really exciting. Some 1951 pennies have rare mint errors that can make them extremely valuable. Look for double die obverse or reverse, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, or even coins struck on the wrong planchet. These error coins can range from $50 to thousands of dollars, depending on the rarity and visibility of the error. Proof-like or satin finishes. Sometimes, coins will have unusually sharp strikes or finishes due to early dies. These can be more valuable and are highly collectible. Let's look at a couple of examples that recently made headlines. A 1951 S Lincoln penny graded MS-67 red by PCG is sold for over $4,000 at auction, and that's for a coin that originally cost just 1 cent. Another example, a 1951 no mint mark penny with a stunning red finish in full detail, sold for $1,500 due to its immaculate condition and eye appeal. So, what should you do if you think you have a valuable 1951 penny? First, carefully examine the coin under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass or coin loupe to check for any signs of errors or doubling. If it looks uncirculated or has a bright red finish, it could be worth sending to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for certification. Next, do some research and check recent auction prices. Values can fluctuate with demand, so what was worth $500 last year might be worth more today. And finally, always handle coins carefully by the edges and avoid cleaning them. Cleaning can destroy the value of a coin instantly. In summary, while most 1951 Lincoln cents might only be worth a few cents, there are rare examples out there worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. It all comes down to condition, rarity, and special features. So before you toss that old penny in your change jar, take a second look. It might just be a hidden treasure. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin collecting tips, coin value updates, and hidden gems in your pocket change. Drop a comment below and let us know what rare coins you found. You never know, your story could be featured in a future video. Until next time, happy hunting and keep checking those coins.